Hi, Word Balloon listeners. I'm Margaret Larkin, who John has interviewed for this podcast. I lived in Japan and I love Japanese language, and I want to share a tip for learning it. When you're reading a manga or watching anime, you'll see some words that represent sounds. The best way to memorize those words is to only visualize the sound instead of thinking of the English meaning. For instance, doki doki means excited, like the sound of a heart pounding. So think of a heartbeat instead of the English translation. You can find me on YouTube at Margaret Larkin. That's Margaret Larkin on YouTube.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Now we're live. We're live because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm running the show tonight.
Yes.
And I'm going live to my feed. I'm going live to YouTube, and I'm going live to Instagram. And there is no guarantee that we're live in any of those places. So,
sorry.
If you guys want to share it to stuff, feel free. Tell your friends. We're here. We'll wait.
I was saying when we weren't recording that I used to be on a weekly sports show, and originally it was on the CBS affiliate, then it went on Sports Channel Chicago, and then finally in the last year or two we were on a UHF channel that most of the day was a QVC shopping channel, and on Friday nights we were on at 6:30, and our lead-in was Donna Reed reruns. So literally, we would do the show live at a restaurant, and the host Mike would be, okay. Don't forget, if you want to watch your show and see if you're on camera, watch us on Friday nights at 6:30 on WJYS channel 62. And I would go right after Donna Reed, and he'd go right after Donna Reed. And I just love the fact that our lead-in was like this 50-year-old show or a 30-year-old show. I thought that was awesome. All right, there you go. And I was showing the boys, I have a new pipe. It's a corncob pipe. And that's how I rock the G these days, is just like Popeye did when he, Bluto's coming. I better get some stuff there.
Ah, that's great. We're live in one place. So we have an audience of one person. That's great.
We got that going for us.
It's going forward from here.
It is Memorial Day, so people might be busy
honoring people,
the soldiers, honoring them, or just wishing them a happy Memorial Day, even to the suckers out there.
But that's kind of an oxymoron. Happy Memorial Day. It's like, have a nice holiday is what I always say instead of Happy Memorial Day.
That's a good one. That's good. I'm glad everybody's here.
Franco, was your father in the Italian army?
He was. He was in the Air Force. He was one of these guys that, before computers, when planes would land and stuff like that, he had to write things on the board backwards so the guys on the other side could see it.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That had to be stressful.
Military in your family?
Yeah, my dad.
What did he do?
My dad was in the, he got drafted during like the Vietnam stuff, but he luckily didn't have to go. He just had to go in the National Guard. But all my uncles and everyone were drafted in different, mostly Army, some of them Marines. And then my grandpa, my dad's dad, was in the Korean War, MASH, as you may know.
MASH. That was on tonight, by the way. Fox was rerunning the big 2-hour special, which makes sense. My dad just missed the war. I always say, and this is the truth, if the bomb had failed, my dad was in California in basic training the summer of 45, and they were planning as a backup plan a land invasion of Japan, just like Normandy in 44. And and it was called Operation Olympus. And real thing, Chuck Dixon even wrote a Wildstorm alternate history war comic that they had to go through with Operation Olympus. But I always tell my sister, I'm like, we may never have been born because of all the casualties that were at Normandy, and it likely would have happened again with the land invasion of Japan. So that happened So the bomb worked. But so
what you're saying, Johnny, is there's an alternate universe out there with no Johnny?
Oh, I'm sure there are. But my dad instead he went to Germany, in Vienna, and if you ever see, it's a great old movie from the late '40s, The Third Man, Orson Welles and Joseph Cotten. My dad's like, "You want to see what I did in the army?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was an MP and he was chasing black marketeers, and that's basically the story in The Third Man. But you know how they had the quadrants set up in Berlin? They did it also in Vienna, where the French, the British, the Russians, and the U.S. all had different portions of the city that they policed. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Interesting.
Well, whatever. That's it. You should your dad should talk to Sal. He's doing his his graphic novel that he's been working on, the new one. And it's the D word for something about Italians. I don't want to say it to insult anybody, but because he's Italian, he wants to use it. And it's all about the Italian Air Force that accidentally heads to the moon. D words on the moon.
That sounds interesting.
He's literally been talking about doing it I want to do it over there. All right? It's gonna be good. And I'm like, all right. And I've been waiting for it for 10 years. I'm very excited he's doing it.
I guess.
I think it'll be funny. So I've been watching Turner Classic Movies all weekend. They've had nothing but war movies. Caine Mutiny and Great Escape, and They Were Expendable. All the classics.
Well, we were at my parents' earlier, and Jaws was on, and so was Jaws 2, since that's a Memorial Day movie.
Is that are those Memorial Day? Are those war movies?
Yeah,
no, they take place in Memorial Day. The movie does.
I forgot about that. Murray Hamilton, the mayor. Not to mention Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, in the movie, it's Memorial Day.
Right, Franco? Didn't you meet Richard Dreyfuss at Comic-Con?
Yeah, he came up to the table, and I think we said like 2 words to each other. So that was fun.
Bummer.
Yeah. No.
Great movie. Second one, Third one, no. Fourth one has bloody Michael Caine in it.
Didn't Spielberg direct the first 2, right?
I don't think he did the second.
He directed the first one, I think.
He did the first one. I don't think no. I think Carl Gottlieb, who wrote the first one, also wrote the second one.
Oh.
And it's a continuation, although it's kind of, a little implausible, but that's all right. I love
Michael Caine did the fourth one just to buy a house, didn't he?
Yeah, he as a favor to Sid Sheinberg, who ran the studio. His wife, she's in 1941 as well. She was Roy Scheider's wife. But yeah, it's like her turn in the fourth movie, Jaws 4: The Revenge. So, because I think a great white kills the sheriff's son.
Yeah, it's like the family is being stalked by the shark.
by the sharks. I'm going to get that guy. I swear to God, Arnie, I'm going to get that guy.
I didn't know sharks had that innate ability for revenge and tracking.
Oh, yeah.
They're very smart. They're no dolphins, but they're very smart. The dolphins try to talk them out of it, especially Don Shula. Just kidding.
Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ace Ventura.
All righty then.
We're off to a grand start. This is awesome. If you're out there joining us, welcome to the Oh Yeah podcast.
Yes. We're artless and we're Mikeless.
Both, and other Mikeless too.
I know. We might have to change keep Artie obviously, but we might have to change the opening.
Yeah, I was just thinking that the other day. Yeah, because we're losing Mike, and then we're losing Artie. So maybe we should just rename this Clanko and Scoot or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'll
Franco,
be on
Clanko
anymore.
And Scoot show.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be on anymore.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm thinking about it.
I was gonna say Franco texted us earlier, and he's like, "Okay, who's in?" I'm like, "I'm in." He goes, "All right, there better be more than just me and Johnny, because I think he's sick of me from last week."
I know someone we can ask. If we want to discuss C2E2, I can see if Dave Scheid's available. He can jump on.
Sure, we could talk to Bud.
Yeah, we can talk about C2E2.
Paulie's a pretty good name. Oh, I figured we were going to talk about C2E2.
We can also we can just put the word out, and anybody that wants to come in there, we'll just send them a link. They can be on the show with us. So, because we don't know what we're doing.
No.
I'm working on our book, Franco. Franco and I are working on a book.
Wow.
Oh. All I know is the
Wow.
Mavericks. The Mavericks are in the playoffs. That's what I know.
Yeah,
Right,
they've
Mario?
been winning. The Mavericks have been winning.
Mm-hmm.
They're one win away from the NBA Finals, Johnny.
Yeah, that's great. It's thrilling. That's like the NCAA. Was it that? No, or wherever Caitlin Clark was.
WNBA?
Was it the NCAA? Or was it the WNBA? Yeah.
WNBA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
she just signed up. Yeah,
okay. And my friends are like, "Oh man, I'm gonna watch. Are you gonna watch?" And I'm like, "No." Mario's finally learned. Although I'm not driving tonight, Mario. So Franco might be
I'll
more
put your
lenient.
comments up all the time.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm like, listen, I think it's awesome that the WNBA has got some stars and finally has some juice. That's cool. But that said, it's like I'm not against it. I'm just indifferent. I'm like, yeah, don't care. It's all right.
You don't watch any sports, right, Johnny?
Very little. I mean, of course, I watch boxing. Of course.
Yeah, that doesn't count anymore.
No, of course not. We just had you're right though. We just had an undisputed heavyweight champion, and like one of the belts have already put on notice, and it's certainly not going to happen that the undisputed champion now Ukrainians Alexander Usyk has to fight the number one contender in 30 days, or he'll be stripped. So they won't even give a guy months anymore. I mean, it's the first literally undisputed champion in 25 years, not since Lennox Lewis. But yeah, now we got Usyk, and I mean he'll still be recognized as the real champion, but he's already going to lose one of the belts. But yeah, he beat the pants off of Tyson Fury 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Now Mike Tyson has a fight coming up, right?
Yes, he does.
Now, when they beat the pants off someone like that, do they show that on pay per view? Is it more money?
Their ass is hanging out. The tenants are out. The whole thing, man. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, Mario said that he saw Madam Web.
Madam Web,
and he was laughing at the end. I like that movie. It's one of my top 10 of this year so far.
Get out of here.
Well, mainly because I've only seen like 4 movies this year, so technically it is in my top 10. So anybody who's out there listening can take that blurb of me saying that it's in my top 10 because technically it's true.
All right.
So,
that's what I used to say about comic book podcasts. And I said, we're all in the top 10. There's only 8 of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I actually, I never saw until today, thanks to Chucky, Baby Driver from 7 years ago. And
that was a good movie.
Really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it.
Not Madam Web good, but it's good.
Well, how do you mess up a movie and you got Sydney Sweeney in it? I ask you.
Well, you just show her face.
Hot. The whole package. Top to bottom over better.
All right, listen. Before we get too far into this thing, because we're on episode. What episode are we on? 24 of the Yeah podcast.
Yeah, sure we are.
Episode 5 of the Franco, Klenko, and Scoop podcast.
Yeah. So Scoot is involved in this book. We have a new book called Ghostlight Tales. We did a pre-launch page. It's on Zoop. So if you go on Zoop and you search Ghostlight Tales, you can join the pre-launch page, and it gives you an update as when it'll go out live. It'll get you updated and stuff like that. Scoot has a story. I got a story in there. I got a couple of stories, putting the whole thing together with some friends. It's very horror. We got some big-name horror writers on there, so go check out some of the names. You will be surprised at who you see there. And then my other piece of business to get out of the way is I'm going to be at Three Rivers Con in Pittsburgh this weekend. So if you're in the Pittsburgh area at Three Rivers Con, I will be there on Saturday or the Sunday. I don't know about both, but I'll definitely be there for one of the days, or both of the days. So
it's not too far from me.
Oh, come out for the weekend.
It's about a 5-hour drive.
Yeah, that's just like right over the border. Come over.
Right over the border.
Yeah. Come down. Antonio Hernandez says he really loves Baby Driver. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably one of the last good Spacey performances. He's like in the Mel Gibson world now, where he is making new movies, but like, they're not the A-list movies anymore, and a lot of baggage because of his
What kind of movies is he making?
I can look that up while we're talking. I wasn't prepared for any math today, but I will.
Well, I mean, you know,
it's all good.
We are doing this by the seat of our pants at the last minute there, so you know.
I hear you, man.
I wouldn't expect anything.
Whoops.
Anything the less.
This is why I'm on the phone. My man, I've been having technical difficulties. Enjoy my ceiling while I'm.
Is that your ceiling?
It is.
I remember that ceiling.
Messy.
I've seen that ceiling.
Yes, you have. You
Antonio Hernandez says he would like to see Madam Web. Antonio, I wouldn't recommend it.
I think I'm going to still watch it. Just to, well, you know, just to kind of understand what's going on, you know.
Understand what's going on? What with what?
Well, just so that, like, should it come up in conversation that I'm not.
Who the hell are you going to be talking to about this movie? It's awful. No one's going to be talking about it.
Stand by. 40. He was in 49 movies. Kevin Spacey.
This weekend?
No. Just in general. All right,
well, that we knew.
It's Land of the Giants. As my hand comes in.
He's back. He's back in.
Yes.
So I have an issue.
Is it?
I have an issue.
Go for it.
There's this new movie called If, right, with Ryan Reynolds, where he sees imaginary friends. That's the if part, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the John Krasinski, the guy from The Office. He wrote and directed it, I think. Right?
Yeah.
And I ain't got a problem with any of those guys. But correct me if I'm wrong, but did there used to be the main character of this If is a big purple thing, right? And it's called Blue.
Okay.
Now, wasn't Blue a character in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends on Cartoon Network for the longest time?
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, how did they do that? Not is it like a Warner Brothers picture? Like, how did they rip that thing off?
I don't know. I was wondering that same thing though. Yeah.
What the heck, man? Does anyone know the answer to this? I'd like to know.
I don't
Inquiring minds.
You sound like Seinfeld. I'd like to know.
What's the deal with?
What's the deal with Pop-Tarts? I have not seen the Pop-Tart movie.
Did you see it? You did not?
Not yet. Did you?
I did. I loved it. I think he said it was going to be a stupid movie. It is a stupid movie, but that's okay.
And you know, people are losing their shits hole, right?
Well, yeah, you know, and honestly, they're a bunch of twerp, you know, critics, and it's like he's not funny anymore, and it's like you never were, so that's great. You know, hold on, let's see here.
Hi, Melissa Bruce.
Okay.
Says hi from Colorado. Hello.
In August of 2021, Kevin Spacey was filming in California for a small production called Peter 5-8, and he plays a charismatic serial killer.
And that was when?
It's still coming out. Peter 5-8. It's him. It's I don't know who Jack Drandu is, but that's the second lead, and the great Rebecca De Mornay.
Whoa, risky business, Rebecca De Mornay?
What's that? Yes, exactly.
And God Created Woman, Rebecca De Mornay?
Indeed. Yeah.
And
I got one more.
Mr. Baseball?
No, but you're close. The Slugger's Wife.
The Slugger's Wife, that's it. I got that one confused with Tom Selleck one or something.
Yes, but Slugger's Wife was it's
Miles O'Keefe, not Miles.
Yeah, well, is that his name? Because
the guy from Caddyshack. No.
Yeah, the kid, exactly. Danny, are you my friend, Danny? Oh, great.
That's
movie.
Robin Williams.
$50 says the Smales kid picks his nose. Good movie. That's the best. The best scene is Bill Murray and the priest when the monsoon rains are happening. Surely the good Lord isn't going to screw up the greatest game of my life.
Yeah.
Rat farts.
Then he gets struck by lightning, and Bill Murray just drops the clubs, looks around, and runs away.
He runs away. And then later he's boozing up in the clubhouse. He's like, there is no God.
Yeah.
But that dramatic, like almost Bible-like music.
Yeah.
And, you know, the monsoon rains are while the wind is whipping around. And, like, you know, it's
this is the best game of my life.
And just like, but he's like a little Sherpa, you know, it's like two guys trotting through the desert and stuff. It totally looks like a Bible moment. Very
Great
I love
that movie.
Harold Ramis. Chicago's very own, directing that movie.
The late great.
Big fan.
Thank you, Dan. He says he loves listening to us, guys. Glad to have us back streaming. Well, Dan, we are on a very strict, every 4 to 6 month schedule with this show.
You can time us with the Farmer's Almanac. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's planting season, must be time for an all-year podcast.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Exactly.
What do they remember exactly? Pepperidge Farm, like everything
how to make good cookies. They were in competition with the Keebler Elves.
Those little fuckers. I know.
Wow. Wow, I'm the one trying to be nice and not swear.
Yeah, well, I'm in a mood today. And
You brought up the Keebler Elves, Johnny. You don't say anything nice about them.
Those things live in trees and making cookies. How do you make a cookie in a tree without burning down the whole tree? That's what I want to know.
Hey, man, all I know is they're making the fudge stripes and all those great cookies. So however they're doing it, keep going. I referred, there's I won't name them, but a comic book podcast that I used to make fun of. And they would talk about Golden Age artists with such reverence. And I'm like, I was telling Howard Chaykin, I'm like, they treat them like they're the effing Keebler Elves, and Chaykin busting out laughing. I'm like, I know better. And I'm like, I know you do.
How would they treat them like the Keebler Elves?
The great Jerry Grandetti was such a master at what he did. And it's like, yeah, okay. I'm sure he had a fifth of gin next to him as he was cranking them out. And listen, no disrespect to the Golden Age guys, but it's like, it was deadline art. I mean, we'd get a Lou Fine, if you will, who obviously was pretty amazing for a deadline art guy. But, it's like, don't put them on a pedestal. They were working class artists that, putting food on the table during the war years in the 50s and the 30s.
Yeah.
Damn it.
They were working.
Yeah.
They do assembly lines sometimes because
sure.
Some of the guys were telling, one old guy would tell me about stuff like that, all the deadline stuff, and everybody would go to everybody's house and do stuff because that guy was on deadline. Then the next week they go to whoever had the deadline the next week. They would do stuff.
Yeah, those are awesome stories, like how they got the first issue of Marvel Comics, or not the first one, but the one where the original Human Torch and the Submariner fought each other. And that was like a big jam session at somebody's house, and one guy was in the bathtub with a board drawing and stuff. Crazy.
Well, he was probably drawing the Submariner parts.
I got this done.
Right? If he was in the bathtub, that's what he'd be drawing.
Probably.
Paulie's
I don't know. Paulie's a pretty good name. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch. I've always liked when they brought him back. It's like, they're him, Cap, and Namor. They're like the Justice Society.
Was he the original Firecrotch? Like,
yes.
What do you do down there? Do you carry a glass of water with you? What's happening?
And did the fire prevent him from having monkey butt?
Yeah, it would burn all that.
Mud butt, rather.
It would burn all that stuff out, I think.
Well, Krusty Bunkers, Wayne, that was a couple decades later. But thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Because he said the Krusty Bunkers were helping out, which they were. But that's like, 60s, 70s. We're talking about the 40s.
Yeah. So, Wayne, you are wrong.
Sorry. And he's quite the art expert, but
Wayne sent us those candy bars.
Wrong.
Excellent Zero candy bars.
Yeah, we got to do a wrap-up of C2E2. I think that's the main reason we're on here, right?
What was your favorite flavor, you guys, of those candy bars?
Like the brownie one, all the chocolate, like as if there wasn't already enough chocolate. But yeah, like that and the, oh God, what is it?
Well, you got to explain what happened because, people are like, they're like, what are you talking about? Wayne.
No, they listen, Franco. They know.
Wayne, they
know. I don't know if we said it on the air, though. Yeah, I don't think we said it on the air.
Did we? Scoot would know better because he remembers shit.
Yeah, I think we did, but we can remind everyone.
So Wayne sent us all a care package while we were out in Chicago. He sent us one of every single candy they make in Canada, apparently.
Every flavor of these Zero bars. Right? Zero?
Yeah, Zero.
Arrow bars.
Arrow, excuse me.
Yeah. So, because in Canada, they make them with a bunch of air.
And they infuse air into them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Very good.
They're real good.
Even
But
the flavor I didn't think I'd like was good, like the Black Forest one with cherry. Because I'm not a big cherry candy or cherry Coke person, but it was still good. I gave 2 away.
Oh my god,
That's not fair.
I know. Well,
do that?
he asked the other day. He's like, "How many of you got left?" I'm like, "Are you kidding? I tore through those in 3 days."
Yeah, I brought those home, and then Kendra and the kids were eating some of them.
Sure.
Kendra,
Hell, you could split one between 3 normal people.
yeah.
Well, 3 normal people, yeah.
Well, I'm saying I ate one by myself, so being abnormal. So that'd be something.
That'd be normal something. So Artie gets this big package at his house that Wayne sent, and they've got 600 candy bars in it. We thought we were getting a couple of candy bars each, but literally It was one of every one.
It was crazy.
And there were. I got a bag. I brought back a home of. Actually, you know what? I still got a whole. No, I brought them to the store.
There you go.
From Mighty Mike Nagan, and I thought I still had them up here on the shelf. I was going to break into them right now.
Bummer.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
I didn't have the peanut flavored one, or peanut butter. I forget what it was.
Are you allergic?
No, that's one of the ones that gave away.
Oh, makes a better story if you're allergic.
Yeah, no. I wish I was. God, I'm sure I'd be literally 100 pounds lighter if I still had my chocolate allergy that I had for 2 years when I was a kid. I'd break out into hives.
You had a chocolate allergy?
What part didn't you understand? Yes. Boy, wow, you got the whole thing. Well done, Franco. Next up, geography for 50. Yes.
So those 2 years of your life, what did you eat? And what size were you?
Baskin Robbins. Yeah, I was a small back then. Baskin Robbins, I would eat. I remember ice, because I didn't like vanilla. Ice pineapple, I remember, of all the 31 flavors. I don't even know if they make it anymore. But yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks for trying, Yoko. Nice shot, Wino. There you go.
You screwed that one up. Nice job.
He was explaining to us that the market for original comic art. He's like, the market for original comic art is softened. It's going down. I'm like, yeah, thanks, C.F. Hutton. I kind of know what that means when it softens. Yeah, it means it's going down. If it were hard, it'd be going up, hard like a rock.
Well, you definitely know what soft means. So.
Hey, wow. Man.
Yep. I went there.
The heavy artillery on Memorial Day. Thank you.
I'm just getting started, Johnny. Let's get
it started. Oh, I was watching Graham Norton and Will.i.am and Chris Pratt. And Chris Pratt was doing a magic trick with a deck of cards, and Will.i.am was his stooge. Speaking of that bad, I'm forgetting their name.
Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah, right? Didn't they do Let's Get It Started?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Because really, 2000 and on, last 24 years, I'm a chucklehead. I know my oldies. But, yeah. I start slipping in the 90s, and by the 2000s, I'm like, what?
Can't sing that song no more.
In your defense, Johnny, you were always a chucklehead.
Wow. Keep it up, Forker.
I'm going to keep going.
I'm actually playing a trivia game at a bar next Sunday with my family, and it's for a charity, but the entry fee is $30, and then they're doing a raffle as well, and that's $10 a ticket. Plus, it's at a bar and a pizzeria. It's the pizzeria by the Oh Yeah Comic Store in Skokie, which, should you be shopping at the Oh Yeah Comic Skokie store, can't recommend it enough. We have all eaten there, and it has great food. The Village Inn, pizzeria, real great thin crust pizza. Can't beat it. And great sandwiches, everything. But yeah, it's going to be there next Sunday afternoon. But I'm like, it's like $40.
Your whole family's going?
Well, like several of my cousins, we like playing trivia together. We usually we do well.
Do you have a team name, Johnny?
That's a fair question. Actually, one of my cousins, who's not a normal player, said, "What's our team name?" I'm like,
wow! Way to throw your cousin under the bus.
What's the truth?
He's not.
I don't know if we have
player.
I don't think we have a given name. We should come up with a name. We should be like the Pantheon because we're all Greek. You know, Mount Olympus.
That name sucks.
Thank you. They use that to describe the super teams, Pantheon.
Sure.
So shut up.
Yeah, the super teams, Johnny. Not you guys.
Well, we're Greek. We invented all this crap. Mathematics, science.
Speaking of Greek,
Yes.
my wife encouraged me to watch My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
What'd you think? I've seen it.
There's a 3.
I know, I'm aware.
So
And
My Big Fat Greek Wedding 1 I loved.
sure.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 was meh.
Yeah.
This one is take me out in the pasture and shoot me with a
Oh,
goat
yeah.
a dog.
Really, very much
It's
so.
Get the
so
hammer.
bad.
Well, it's just, they go to Greece, and it's sad because the father, Michael Constantine, has passed away, and they made Lainey Kazan. I think she's okay.
She's got
They made-
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, they made her character have Alzheimer's.
Spoilers, yeah.
You know, yeah. So it's pretty much Aunt Vula, and Andrea Martin, and Nia Vardolos, and then the rest of the family. Man, the brother is getting old. Man, he looks like
he
hell.
had some really jacked up teeth and jaw thing going on, didn't he? He looked like
Clayface.
he
when he
looked-
was, like,
yeah, but he
rushed to,
also
like,
looked.
Yeah, make a
Where-
face.
Where's that
It was
movie where the guy's teeth glow in the dark? There was that
I don't know.
one TV show or something where a guy's teeth, like, he put on the whitening strips and they glowed in the dark or something like that.
Oh, are you? Was that? That wasn't Matt Dillon, was it? In Something About Mary. I know he had like crazy.
It might have been. You put the caps
had-
in and stuff.
Yeah, he had his caps, and they were big and like really, really white.
Yeah, that's what he looked like. Costas Mandalore, is that the guy's name? I think
Oh, I don't know.
the
I
actor.
don't know. I have
But,
no idea.
'Cause I know Joey Fat One is the other. Is the
Joey
other
Fat
guy.
One, yes, from the In Sync is one of the boys. Absolutely, he's Aunt Vula's son.
But I was like, oh man, what's happening with this movie?
But that, like, literally, like they do have real Greeks in it. I don't believe Fatone is a Greek. Andrea Martin is not Greek. Aunt Vula. Lainey Kazan is a Jewish lady. She's not Greek. It's kind of like Anthony Quinn being Zorba, and he's actually a Mexican gentleman.
Are you pissed about that? Are they appropriating
I don't
the Greek thing, Johnny?
No. In fact, truly, I really think the current generation is a little too stay in your lane about everything. And it's like, I mean, I don't want Montalban like he was in the 60s. There's a Mission Impossible episode where he plays a Japanese man and he's literally squinting. So it's like Fred Kwan, like Tony Shalhoub in Galaxy Quest. But in Tony's case, it was because he was a pothead. And that's why his eyes are really small. But he played Fred Kwan. And that was just a stage name because he was really Lebanese or whatever.
Hey,
So no, I don't care. It's all right. We got enough Greeks out there. We got Jennifer Aniston. Telly Savalas carried us from the 70s through the 90s.
Jennifer Aniston is the Greek? I didn't
yeah.
know that. But that name makes sense now, I guess.
Oh, yeah, big time. Big time.
Is Scoot working on a secret project? What are you working on there?
not really secret. As we talked about it at C2E2, Franco.
Yeah, we did.
Ninja.
Ninja Kaiju.
Yeah.
Barbara Walters.
We're doing something. It's a fun project. We're having fun with this
Cool.
one.
I'm working on a secret project. Wayne is aware of it,
oh,
but I actually am
geez.
working on a secret project. What do you think of that?
Well, we're not allowed. You're not allowed to talk about that
Yeah.
in public, are you, Johnny?
When it's ready and I'm kickstarting,
Oh,
you won't
well,
be able
that
to
one.
shut. You won't be able to shut me up.
Well, you'll be asking for money, I see.
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Why
Present
not?
company
Indeed.
included, I believe.
I'm not
So.
giving you shit stuff.
Very free with the language tonight, Francis.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm a little blue today. I'm working a little blue.
Little blue.
I'm using a lot of blues right now. So,
It's all right.
well, it's late. It's late.
Yeah.
Um,
Fine.
Has anyone all right? So what? Because I don't go to the theater anymore because I can't. There aren't enough movies out to justify me joining a movie club, and
Why would you go to a movie? It costs $100 by the time
that's
you
what I
get
mean.
your
About
popcorn and
$100.
your seat and everything.
You still go.
Yeah, but I go to the $5 movie night.
Yeah. We just saw Garfield last last night. It was expensive for all four of us.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, and I get that, Scoot, because you got kids, so it's still fun for them.
How was the Garfield? My son saw it, actually.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it actually started out kind of rough, but the ending was pretty good. It didn't feel like Garfield, though.
Isn't Chris Pratt the new Garfield?
Yeah, he did fine. Like, that wasn't... It was just, like, some of the story stuff, I don't know, like, was, like, too much, maybe, but it was good once you kind of settle into it. But the kids liked it, actually, so I guess that's all that matters. They were, like, asking if we could go find Garfield toys at the store, which they don't have.
Did they have...
You got to talk out of that.
Wayne showed us they got the popcorn Garfield heads now.
Oh, yeah.
Like they had the Dune sandworms.
Yeah.
Well, they had the Dune sandworm butts, like buttholes they look like.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now they were Garfield.
Did they have the same thing for Garfield?
Well, they're not the butts; they're the heads.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like Garfield sitting there with like a popcorn bucket, and the popcorn bucket's full of popcorn.
I got
excited. As I said, there's a landfill hole waiting for all those buckets when the time comes. As we further pollute the earth. Like, is that who's spending $20 on that? I'm glad you resisted if the kids wanted it. Scoot.
Yeah. I think it's free refills, so if you go to the movies a lot, you can just walk back in with that thing,
I guess.
So, like in November when the new Deadpool is out, you could go with your Garfield bucket.
Exactly.
And also, popcorn. Do they actually pop popcorn anymore at the theater?
Yeah.
Because I know there were places that had pre-pop bags. And
they pop them.
How pissed would you be? I'm pissed when that happens. When I walk into a movie theater and they got no, I don't eat popcorn in general, really, because
neither do I.
Stuck in my teeth.
Yes,
but when I go to a movie theater, I get uncontrollably angry if they got the popcorn in bags and they don't fresh pop it, because even though I'm not eating it, I want that fresh popcorn smell and the possibility of getting that popcorn. How dare you not have it fresh? How dare you?
Well, and it's like buying food at the airport now. And it's like, oh, you want a box of Nestle's Crunch? Okay, $6. Really? Okay.
Well, why are you buying Nestle Crunch at the airport, Johnny? Don't you have a chocolate allergy?
Well, you know what I mean. Shut up.
I buy an Aero bar at the airport.
You got to go to the duty-free store to get Aero bars. Duty-free.
I was going to say something about duty, but you yelled at me for swearing a lot already, so I'm not going to. But do they have Aero bars in the Canadian airports, or just?
Well, you have to ask Wayne.
Yeah, they had them. I bought one.
In the Canadian one, you went there?
Yeah, when we were in Canada last year, I bought one at the airport.
Did you really?
Just the regular. They had only like the milk chocolate one, the normal one.
So wait, you bought one of those?
Yeah, I was talking to Wayne about it.
Why didn't you buy the rest of us something? Why did Wayne have to send us all that candy?
Because that was after. That was before Wayne. I told Wayne that's what started it. Remember we were talking about I was going to Canada. I was asking him about the candy bars. It was me and Franco and Wayne were on one of Franco's shows, I think.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Gee, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Catching up with Franco, except...
Not Johnny. Not
exactly. Not in parentheses, not Johnny.
I haven't done that in like I keep telling Wayne, oh, we're gonna do it, and then 5 months go by and I don't even do that.
Yeah,
that's even worse than this show.
Well, I keep telling Franco I'm gonna be online, and then I never get on because I fall asleep putting the kids to bed.
That's why whenever
we were supposed to talk 4 or 5 times this week.
I know, but luckily,
whenever I'm driving and Wayne is like, "Hey, when are we gonna do a catch up with Franco in the chat?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's not going on the screen, Wayne, because you guys don't invite me. So no, I'm not gonna promote that show. What do you think of that?"
Wow.
That's right. That's how petty I am. I am that Tom Petty.
Wow. That's
Oh, shut up! You've been ranking on me all night. You lame ass. Did you?
You know why, Johnny?
Why?
I'm not going to say it here.
All right, fine. I wanted to point out an observation I heard on the Gilbert Gottfried podcast. I sometimes fall asleep to the conversations he has, and Mario Cantone was on, and he made a great point that in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Hot Jessica, that ultimately becomes Mrs. Claus. He's like, she has the biggest puppet tits he's ever seen. And he's right. And I shared a photo with you guys, and it's like, all you guys got to do is, and women, if you're curious, it's an equal opportunity here. But seriously, look up Jessica, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And that's an impressive bust line. Let's just put it that clinically. I mean, I'm telling you, man, she's like in Jane Russell territory.
Yeah,
or Sydney Sweeney.
We talk about cartoon bus lines.
Sydney Sweeney could have played Jessica if they did a live action Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Tana, how you doing, Tana?
Mona.
Good stuff. That's another thing. I don't know about you, but I am always sucked in on the short videos of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And I was watching an interview thing. I think it was Stern. And he was talking to Tony Danza. And he's like, so you and Andy Kaufman, you guys didn't get along, right? No, that's not true. He goes, he was just, once you understood him, he goes, then we were really good friends. I even reffed some of his wrestling matches. But I was dying watching Danza, speaking of Mona.
Why didn't they get along at first?
Oh, Andy Kaufman was like, basically, I mean, if
Weird.
you see Man on the Moon, the what's Jim Carrey movie, it's pretty much that, where he'd show up late, he'd only rehearse like twice a week, where everybody else was there 5 days a week, including taping, and he just kind of copped an attitude. And it was just like his stage performing, it was to evoke an emotion from kind of a hostile emotion. He liked that, and it's like he said, once you figured that out, he goes, he was normal. He goes, once you pierce the veneer of that, then he said, no, then we were really good friends. He goes, I saw him like a week before he passed away and everything in the hospital. I'm Tony Danza. Hey, do you mind Andy calling me Tony? Because I answer better to Tony.
Wasn't that his name in Taxi?
Of course it was.
Tony his name and everything.
Exactly. And that's when he used to be on Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher. It was like he played Tony on Taxi, Tony on Who's the Boss, and see him in his brand new show Hudson Street, where he plays a guy named Tony. Tony Danza, everybody. I sing now. I don't know if you knew that. Moon River. Something.
I can't figure out if I like Bill Maher or not.
It's half and half. I mean, sometimes he annoys me, but he's consistent. So he just had Sandra Bernhard on his podcast. I have not heard anything from Sandra Bernhard, I think, in 20 years. So I am very curious to hear it.
Did he piss somebody off on his podcast that asked him not to smoke or smoke marijuana around him because they were recovering, and he said no?
I didn't. If he did, I hadn't seen that episode.
That was Steve-O from Jackass.
Is that what happened? Was it with Steve-O?
Yeah, he was going to be on his show, and then he's like, but like I'm a real bad addict, and I've been sober for how many years? He's like, please don't smoke on the show, and then he just like, no, that's what I do or something. So he didn't go on the show.
Oh, that's wow. How nice of Mark. I mean, that's the thing. Mark could be, I think as a person, I don't think I'd like Bill Maher, but I have to admit, I listen to his political opinions. I don't always agree with them. He was on The View, and the host, Sunny, I forget her last name, was like, I'm really kind of disappointed.
Whoopi Goldberg?
Not Sunny, not Whoopi. No, but anyway, Sonny's like, I'm really disappointed that you use the phrase woke and you use it in a disparaging way. And he's like, listen, you're right. Woke used to mean something very specific regarding African Americans or just people of color in general. And he said, unfortunately, and Sonny's like, yeah, well, the right changed that. And he's like, yeah, but the left kind of changed it too. And I'm like, well, I have to agree. I think it's, I think both sides have really kind of unfortunately appropriated the word and turned it into something very different. And, that's too bad. But I don't think he's wrong. And then they were asking him about Hamas and the Israelis. And it's like, well, don't you think it's terrible, that Israel overreacted in their attacks? And he's like, it's a war. he goes, it sucks, but that's what happens in wars. There is collateral damage of innocence, and it's horrible, but yeah, that's war. And it's like, well, how do you fix that, Bill? And he goes, well, it's above my pay grade, but I've yet to see a solution that isn't you win the war. And it's like, yeah, kind of. Vietnam is one of the few times where it's like, all right, listen, we're not getting anywhere. We got to just stop, And they still shot at us as we helicoptered away, So
that's true. That's true.
All right. That's a happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Well,
but anyway, I didn't mean to get heavy. So as Mr. Mambo, John Candy used to say, I'm sorry, kids. I didn't mean to bum you out. So.
Yeah, we lost like half of our
50.
listeners on
I was
that
gonna
one.
say all three of them. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Mario tuned out. Let me see what the Mavs are doing now with us.
Luka's doing good though. Luka Doncic for the Mavericks.
Luka Doncic.
Doncic. He's
Doncic.
Oh, he's a player. Oh,
yeah.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
In my summer camp, we had an Italian kid that was new to America. I think it was Franco, and when he was mad at guys, like, "Come on, John, come on, do it, you damn shit," because damn shit, and we all laughed. We're like, "That's awesome, man." Say it again, Vito. Get a cute sister. Hands off my sister. True.
Damn shits. I like that.
You damn shits.
Wow.
Good stuff. All right, there you go.
How about those Olympics, huh? Those are happening.
That's truly, Chucky and I were talking about the Olympics today. I got to be honest, man. I got mad at the Olympics after 8, and again, showing my age, 88. And ever since NBC took them over, the coverage sucks. They, even into the 2000s, when the internet was happening and you could get immediate video and stuff. Oh no, we're gonna save that amazing 100-yard dash for prime time for the American audience.
Are they still doing that?
No, but it took them a long time, Franco, a long time. And I'm not going to be watching. I don't care. I'm going to pay attention to the boxing. I don't know if I'll be watching or not. But other than that, I really don't care anymore. Remember Dan and Dave in the 60s, or rather in the 90s? They were the decathletes, and they were the two American guys. And they made a big sneaker promotion of who do you like better, Dan or Dave?
Yeah.
One of them didn't make it to the Olympics. And I remember the other one like screaming, there goes all the millions, man.
Mm-hmm. I remember one of them didn't make it. I remember that. Yeah.
So I think
they lost me, and I got pissed off when the Olympics were something special, and it was every 4 years. Damn it. And now it's every 2 years because now they do the Winter Olympics.
Right.
Why? What? I understand money-wise, but why are you changing my childhood? Why?
I hear you, man.
Why do you have to do this?
What, did the winter and summer both be in the same year, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I feel like most of my life,
whippersnapper.
Yeah, most of my life they've been every other like this.
Yeah, that's right, Teenage Scoot. That's true.
Exactly.
But they changed them, and now they're like every 2 years, and I don't like that. I can't keep up with the Olympics like every 2 years now.
Who's the modern swimmer that got busted for pot?
Michael Phelps.
Thank you, Michael Phelps, indeed. Because I'm a Mark Spitz guy, and now poor Mark Spitz is like in his 70s, and he does that commercial where you can get the pocket defibrillator to check your heart.
Somebody's got to keep him alive.
God bless him. Hey, man, 7 gold medals. I remember 72 and 76, and those were epic years. And
wasn't he played by Lyle Wagner on the Carol Burnett show or something like that?
He certainly should have been. No, he had more of a Burt Reynolds mustache look and everything.
Yeah, he was hot.
He was one of America's sexiest men. Absolutely. He was on Bob Hope. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Mark Spitz, straight from the bathtub. How you doing, everybody? But yeah, 80, we didn't have the Summer Olympics, but we did have the winter. We were watching, Chucky and I were also watching Miracles, or Miracle, the Kurt Russell movie about the 80 hockey team.
He's got some amazing things happening with his hair in that movie.
Well, it was 1980, man.
Yeah,
he's got that crappy, as our favorite joke. You want a mole?
Yeah.
Okay, Pete Rose. But yeah, hey man, I had a Mo. I had a Mo haircut.
I got one now, I think.
I saw your happy anniversary, Nancy.
Yeah.
I saw your nice wedding picture, and I don't know who that apple-cheeked young boy was, fresh-faced, but time and life have certainly hardened your visage.
Yeah, I look like crap. I got it.
Oh my God!
Somebody wrote to me. Yeah, somebody wrote to me today and said, "Anniversary? Who's like?" They messaged me, "Whose anniversary is it?" And I responded, "It's my wife's." And they said, "It's not your anniversary as well." I said, "No, mine's in another couple of days." They told them
you couldn't clear the papers to make it to the country yet.
Yeah,
they detained you at Ellis Island.
So she got married without me, and then I caught up later in a couple of days.
Hey, just like Klinger did to Lorraine on a very early season of MASH. And then they got divorced.
She messed him up big time.
Yeah.
That one.
No, well, that's all right. He rebounded. He got Keiko from Deep Space Nine.
That's right. Was her name Keiko on the show there too? Because that's weird.
No, I forget what her name was. Like Sun Yi or something.
Sun Yi. That's right.
Yeah, it was a good Korean name. But
she was also on the short-lived After MASH.
Have you watched those episodes, Francis?
No.
I have, and they're on YouTube.
Well, you got a lot more time than I do.
Well, yeah, I'm not proud of it, but I wasted a good 23, almost half hours watching that show because I'm like, I remember it was on, and I didn't watch.
I like that you couldn't do the math. You wasted 23 half hours. You couldn't say 12 hours.
Well, it was slightly under 12, but also they're like 22 minutes because there's no commercials. But the four of them? Well, ultimately Radar I think was going to join the cast finally, but the three of them were all right, and but it was the surrounding characters that sucked and really pulled it down. But it's too bad because they really should have focused on them and just had a bunch of straight other characters on the show and let them be the comedians. But yeah, it was Klinger, the Colonel Blake.
Didn't Radar make a guest appearance?
Couple, and he got married on the show.
On that show, he got married.
Yep.
Speaking of Radar got
Rated R.
He turned 81 or something like that this week.
Wow. I mean, the show ended 44 years ago, so it's not surprising, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I'm bummed. I never go to like the Cincinnati show, and I know Hot Lips and Klinger were there. Right?
Yeah.
Wait, they were?
Yes. I thought I had heard that. And I know they were offered to Mitch for Terrificon, but he's like, nah. And I'm like, oh man. I'm like, I want to meet Jamie Farr. We got to find out. Not to my interest.
I don't think he was at Cincinnati when I was there because we would have met him in the green room.
Yeah, okay. He wasn't there.
Oh, maybe it was Cleveland or something.
Yeah.
Toledo.
It's not going to go to a comic show. They're not going to invite him. What are they going to invite him for?
Because
straight from his appearance on the Oh Yeah podcast.
All the celebrities, all the autograph people.
Well, they do those TV shows or something like that, or those fan meets.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Not a comic show.
Franco, I was telling a friend that the show VIP came up. I'm like, my buddy drew that comic.
I wrote it. I didn't draw it.
Oh, I thought you drew it. Okay.
No, I wrote it.
I'm sorry. Even worse.
Yeah. And I got second billing after I wrote it because the editor decided he wanted to be a writer. He pulled a Roy Thomas on me. That's
lousy. Who created VIP?
Well,
I thought it was created by Pamela Lee Anderson's right.
Yeah, it's just I was hired to write it, and then he was my editor, but he put himself on as a writer as well. I'm like, damn it! What is happening to my life at this point?
Was that the low point doing the VIP comic?
No, that was on my way up. That was early on. I'm like, I'm making it. I'm making it. So I'm going somewhere. This is it. This is my big chance. See, I'm gonna make it on big Broadway, and then I didn't. With that comic, I made it in other ways.
Sad.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what do you?
You try, and you. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down; it's how many times you get back up, Johnny. That's what counts.
Words to live by, sir.
Yeah. Although my knees are getting pretty crappy, so getting up is real hard.
Oh, yeah. Did you know that Spacey on Christmas Eve, do you remember this? He did an interview with Tucker Carlson.
This past Christmas?
As his House of Cards character, Frank Underwood.
I slightly remember that. Yeah, that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And why did we do that?
Because I'm sure he made a little bit of money doing it. I have no idea.
Because Tucker Carlson was like, "Yeah, I want you to play that character Frank from House of Cards."
It's kind of consistent for Tucker to like that, After, I mean, I liked the character. It was a fun character to hate, but it is kind of funny that after all the terrible things that were revealed about Kevin Spacey personally, that Tucker's like, "Yeah, come on the show. Good idea."
No, but come on the show as that character. That's what I like about it.
I guess.
Jeez.
Crazy stuff, sir.
Tucker Carlson. Screw that guy.
I don't know.
Screw that guy. Ooh, sorry. I've been neglecting my... Oh, good. Nobody else put anything on there. All right.
The chat?
It's my job to put the comments up, and I forget. But nobody's listening anyway, so...
I was going to say, you're driving, son.
I'm creating a Ninja Kaiju PDF over here for Franco.
Yeah, you are.
Nice.
It's taking forever. My computer's running really slow. I need a new one, I think.
Wow.
You can do it, though. I have faith in you. I have faith in you. I don't know.
Trying to think of what else. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of World War II movies. Watched one with Alan Ladd and June Allison that starts in World War II and ends up in Korea.
Alan Ladd? Isn't that the skipper?
No, that's Alan Hale.
Oh, same difference. Yeah.
Alan Ladd was
same guy.
He was the really tiny detective in This Gun for Hire and The Glass Key. He was a big mystery and noir actor in film, but also on radio.
I have no idea who you're talking about at this point.
Alan Ladd, fine leading man. She's very tiny. He would either stand on an apple box to look taller than his leading ladies, or they would literally dig a hole in the floor for the woman to stand in.
I like that.
Swear to God, it's true. That happened to Don Adams on Get Smart.
Dig a hole.
It's the truth. Barbara Feldon was a lot taller than Don Adams, and he would have lifts in his shoes, and she would be in her stocking feet doing scenes and stuff, so that they'd kind of be the same height. Stop towering over me, 99.
At that point, would they just get rid of somebody?
He was the star.
Wouldn't his ego
she was great.
Wouldn't his ego come in that
I want you to fire that one? No, they had good chemistry. They were great together.
Oh, they were.
Did you ever see the two technically reunion movies? There was first The Nude Bomb.
The Nude Bomb. I remember that.
Horrible. And he's the only guy in it because even the chief had passed away, and it was MacGyver's chief that was the chief in The Nude Bomb. But then they kind of did better in the mid '80s, and they made Get Smart again. And the guy that would turn into Thor in the Hulk Thor TV movie, he was in it and was a kind of an inept younger agent. But it was Barbara Feldon and Don Adams, and everybody. Bernie Capel was Siegfried again, and Dick Gautier was Jaime the Robot.
Was Barbara Feldon in The Nude Bomb?
No, she wasn't.
And that was a very provocative title. I remember that when I was a kid. I'm like,
oh, sure, man. We were all excited, and there was nothing.
Nothing.
They showed us nothing. And the girl really sucked. She really was. I have no idea what else she did, but she was not. Come on, big shoes to fill. Tall shoes to fill in Barbara Feldon's case.
Right.
But, oh, man, she was awesome. Hot.
Like, who would think that they could replace Barbara Feldon? And Anne Hathaway?
Yeah, I hear you. Exactly. Yeah, that movie was okay for what it was. Wasn't great. I mean, I love Carell, and I thought Anne Hathaway was fine. Everybody in it. The Rock is funny in it, and Alan Arkin is funny as the chief. All right, Max.
I thought they had the good ingredients for that. Because
But
they
the
even
kid-
like Anne
yeah, but
Hathaway and everything.
It should have been funnier. It really
Well,
should have been funny.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is it had good ingredients
Yeah. No,
to
I
be
agree with
funny.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's what, like, I feel that way about the Dark Shadows Johnny Depp movie and even Clue from the 80s. And maybe I was too old because I was in college when it was out. But I'm like, man, you are surrounded by a lot of really funny people. And it's barely okay in my book. And I know people younger than me adore that movie.
Yeah, Kendra loves Clue.
You know which movie I adore and I think is really good and funny. Well, I got something else to bring up after this, but
Popeye.
No, be quiet. What am I, Art? I'm not Art. I'm Anne Franco. Remember? Maybe
The Diary of Anne Franco. What now?
Oscar.
Oscar is a horrible movie. Marissa Tomei and Stallone.
It's great.
Oh,
with Tim Curry.
Yeah.
And Vincent Spano. You remember Vincent Spano?
Yes, I do.
Remember, whatever happened to Vincent Spano?
He probably got older and uglier, and people stopped casting him because he was like young, yeah, like all right.
Chaz Palminteri was in that movie too.
That's right. Yes, indeed. I'm a Bob Boss. How you doing?
I thought that movie was great.
I used to watch Popeye all the time as a kid.
Sure.
That movie sucked.
No, I liked it.
Oh, it was so horrible.
Oh, I was good in that movie. Oh.
So I was talking to someone the other day, and I'm not going to out them, but we were talking about favorite movies. We were having this conversation.
Okay.
And I bring up, what's one of your favorite movies? I'm like, besides, I like Star Wars. And I said,
that's too obvious.
And Princess Bride.
Okay.
I love Princess Bride. And they're like, ugh. And I was like, wait, hold on. What?
Great.
Oh, I couldn't stand that movie. I'm like, what?
Wow.
What? Why? What? When? How did this happen? And who hurt you?
Yeah, really. Show me on the doll where they touched you.
Right. I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
No,
who
that's
would
a great
say that
movie.
about that movie.
No. Hi, lady. Stop this rhyming. I mean it. Anybody want a peanut?
But that movie's great. How would you?
Crystal and Carol Kane.
Mm-hmm. Liar. Yeah.
Exactly. Have fun storming the castle.
Oh man, that's
Miracle
just
Max. Carrie Elways is funny in that movie. That's all you need to know, man. And the guy from Fright Night, Chris Sarandon.
Mm-hmm.
He's really funny. And the beautiful Robin Wright.
My goodness, that's just like one of those movies that's just like a perfect movie.
I agree.
And I can't understand how someone would that movie.
Little Fred Savage and Peter Falk. All right, shut up.
I watched Columbo the other night for the first
Which one?
time in a while.
Which one? Who's the bad guy?
One with the guy who would talk like this, and he was the uncle of the other guy. And he ran the car off the road. And
is that was that Ross Martin and the Forgeries? No.
I don't know that. No, he killed his nephew for the trust, to break the trust money, and he had lilies and daffodils. He had a greenhouse, a solarium, he called it.
Oh, the Greenhouse Jungle. That's a good one. That's the great Ray Milland.
Yes, that's who it was.
Yeah. Great. Man, that guy, it's sad because he was such an A-lister in the 40s and 50s. And I have no idea what happened. But all of a sudden, in the 60s, he made The Man with X-Ray Eyes with Roger Corman.
I do remember that, yeah.
And then he made The Incredible Two-Headed Transplant, where he survives a car accident and they sew his head on Rosie Greer's
right? Yeah,
body.
Yes.
And it's big, giant, former football player Rosie Greer with Ray Milland. Do you mind? And then, of course, it had like a whole racism storyline to it. It's a fantastic movie if people haven't seen it. It's for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, that movie scared me as a kid. Honestly.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, and also then, he made a lot of TV. He made a lot of TV shows. And I mean, God bless him. I know, as I've learned, especially when I was a SAG union member, you want to keep working because they give you like A-list insurance for a very low price. And, you know, all you need is like 1 or 2 gigs, especially back in the 70s and stuff, to qualify. And even in the 90s, I know the guy who played Danny Thomas's manager on Make Room for Daddy, Sid Melton, he needed help. And the Golden Girls producers were approached. And I'm like, hey, man, like Sid needs a gig to qualify for his insurance. So they made him Estelle Getty's was it Estelle Getty? Yeah, her dead husband, and he appeared as a ghost and stuff. All right, thank you.
I remember that too.
Fascinating, I know. Do you guys get in your Facebook feeds? I've been getting like these. There's a photo, and then literally like almost an article length post about the history behind the photo, and there was one where it was like, today marks the 44th anniversary of the last episode of Robert Wagner's show, It Takes a Thief. And then you open up the link, and all of a sudden there's like multiple paragraphs about the history of that TV show and stuff. I get those all the time.
I don't know if I'm getting those.
I
get
those.
Sports ones.
Yeah. I think I ignore those. I get some of that stuff.
I got one for David Niven today that I posted on my and maybe because I do post them on my page. Now the algorithm is telling me to push more of that stuff my way.
Yeah.
Did I tell you my big find on Tubi? All the live action Sid Marty Krofft shows, with the exception, and I was very bummed because I was really hoping I could steer Artie towards it. It doesn't have Bigfoot and Wild Boy.
Bigfoot and Wild Boy. Never saw that show.
Father and son Bigfoot show, yeah.
It's got to be something good, though.
But Dr. Shrinker is on there, who's a madman that shrinks little teenagers. And Wonder Bug, which was like Speed Buggy, but live action. Horrible. Electro Woman and Dyna Girl. All 18 episodes of that.
I got to watch that one.
Good one.
I didn't see a lot of these shows.
Poor man's Batman, like poor man's Adam West.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of these shows because we were poor and didn't have a TV.
That's sad. That's tragic, Francis.
Oh yeah, we had the TV, but we were never home to watch it because we were always working.
Got it.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Did you read the paper a lot to know what was happening then?
Read. Michael couldn't read. You know that.
Yeah.
Quit showing him up.
I didn't have that. Way to make me feel bad, Scoot.
How'd you know what was happening then?
I didn't. I didn't.
Remember the movie Gung Ho, where Michael Keaton takes over the Japanese auto plant, and they have American workers in there too. One of the sticklers from Japan was picking on one of the workers because he caught him reading the newspaper in the bathroom, and Keaton's like, his name was like Googie or something like that. He's like, listen, we all encourage Googie to read, okay, because he doesn't read enough or whatever. And later, John Turturro walks into a scene, and Googie's got the newspaper under his shoulder, and he goes, "Hey, Googie, you're reading. That's great, man. Keep it up." And I just thought that was a good comeback. I'm like, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, speaking of Michael Keaton,
yes,
I'm very excited for the new Beetlejuice that comes out in September. But
I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I'm excited. But that's not why I brought him up. I brought him up because he's in Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah, great movie.
With Joe Piscopo.
We've talked about that movie before, sure.
I never saw it.
Did you know that, our favorite dear leader has been in the court last week? This, I guess, resumes tomorrow as we speak tonight.
Yes.
One of the people that went in and sat in, all the Republicans are going over there to pay homage to him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Piscopo.
Yeah.
Joe Piscopo showed up and sat in the audience.
I know.
I heard that, and I'm like, what?
Chowderhead. Yeah, I know. Something happened to him, man, because he really, he seems slower than he was in the 80s and 90s. And I don't know what happened to him.
You think he juiced up on all that bodybuilding juice?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But really, he's really big. And I don't mean this from a political standpoint. He just normally in his delivery, he sounds like a meathead. And because I listened he had Gilbert Gottfried on his show before Gilbert passed away, and I was curious to hear it, especially given
on whose show? Joe Piscopo?
Yeah, because he has a daily morning, a New York morning show, or he did, Franco.
Oh yeah, a long time. I don't think he still has that, but
well, this was recent enough that it was like in the 20-teens. I don't know, but yeah, I did know that he's a Republican now and that he's a big Trump supporter. It's like, all right, whatever.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring you down on that. I just thought.
No, I appreciate the observation. Wasn't it funny that they all showed up, all the Congress people, wearing the same suit and the red tie and everything? And it's like a bad boy band reunion, you know?
It's like they drank the Kool-Aid or something. But
it's no different than when the tax reformers are like, we're going to call each other teabaggers, and it's like nobody was in the room to go, yeah, you may not want to use that name. I don't think that's a good idea. And the same thing with all the blue suits and the red ties. It's like, do you realize how ridiculous you look? Yeah, I understand that it's solidarity, but it's like, y'all look really stupid. And especially, no, we're not lemmings. We're not sycophants. We all think individually, but we're all wearing the same stuff right now. And also, much as other people have said, not a good thing for everyone, a political party, to suddenly show up all wearing the same clothes. That hasn't worked well in the past. And everyone can do their history and decide for themselves.
Wow.
I won't go into detail.
That was the political portion of our show, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there you go. Well, you
know those three people that were listening? Yeah.
They're gone.
They're gone now. We're all by ourselves.
It's all right. I'm doing a bunch of international interviews on Word Balloon this week. I'm talking to Tom Taylor live from Melbourne tomorrow morning.
Oh, I like that guy. Tell him I said hi.
One of the best. And finally getting Andy Diggle on my show, one of my favorite British writers. I love that guy. I'm such a fan. I've been a fan ever since he and Jock were doing The Losers back in the early 2000s.
That's just crazy, Johnny.
I'm excited. And Kelly Thompson coming back. All these Eisner nominees are coming on. And my good friend David Wachter from Pittsburgh, by the way. He'll probably be at that convention that you're at this coming weekend, Francis.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I got to advertise. I don't know who's going to be there.
Well, I told you, Dave Wachter. Probably Jimmy Rugg. That's a local show for Jimmy.
I'm going to be there. I know that.
Sure.
Maybe Scoot if he comes out for a visit.
Yeah, I probably won't.
Yeah, Paul's pretty good now.
Damn it.
Are we going to go to SummerSlam, Franco?
I don't know. I don't think so.
What city is it in?
Cleveland.
Wow.
I hear Becky Lynch's contract is up, and she's going to be a free agent. And she's going to be looking for the more money, being the highest paid female ever on the roster. I'm wondering if that's a thing.
How is
her leaving?
I'm sorry. How's AEW been lately? I was talking to Gigantic Jeff the other day. We had dinner, and he goes, yeah, it's not as good right now. They're losing ratings. It's not that good.
Yeah, they fired Christopher Daniels.
Did they?
Well, not really fired.
In the storyline.
In the storyline, he got fired. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, if they really did, I was going to feel bad for him. I love Chris. So is Chris?
He's awesome.
Is Chris still fighting, or is he managing?
He's more behind the scenes creative.
Yeah, but he once in a while he'll do a match. Like I still watch it.
I think they fired him because I don't think he's doing the matches anymore. But who knows? Yeah,
I still enjoy watching it, because it's just more wrestling. But it's just been a little bit more. They got so many guys hurt that I think it's hard to keep storylines.
Did MJF just come back last night?
Yeah, he came back. Yeah, yep. So that'll be good. That'll be interesting to see what he does.
I was watching the Dark Side of the Ring, that show that's on Vice.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a whole, again, Chucky's a big fan. They did a whole thing on one of the British Bulldogs and how messed up his whole end of his life and career was.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad, very tragic.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I do enjoy watching that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's compelling. Compelling stuff. Oh.
Really?
Oh, man. Sorry. Comments. Wayne says AEW has pooped the bed.
Okay.
Wayne also says, whack her. I barely know her. I don't know what that's in reference to. He also says, big smile. I'm trying, Wayne. And the Oilers tied it up. That's what he's saying.
All right. Thank you.
Oh yeah, hockey.
One last one. Joe is on the juice.
Edmonton.
Oh, and
is
Donald
rejoicing.
Lenz is here. It shoots through schools. I don't know what that is, but that's because I'm not paying attention to the chats. I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Usually that's Johnny's job. Sorry, folks. Sorry. But it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right,
so
we're done. That's all.
we can be done. Keep it on.
Well, I can tell when it's these kind of pregnant pause sounds. It's like, all right, everybody's out. That's why I keep throwing out things. But it's all right.
No, we're good. We're good. I'm just
we can finish.
Just it's a short pods. 88 Magnum Johnny Dangerously says Donald.
Oh yeah. It shoots through schools. Yeah, that's the line from
that's right.
That's one of Episcopo's lines.
That's right. That's right.
I've been watching.
Mario said I saw the Iron Claw. I thought it was good, but the cast was too short. Threw me off. Is that the one with the Zach Galifianakis? No, Zac Efron. Yeah. Right. Did he juice up for that thing or what?
It looks like he did, yeah.
Probably.
He's got that neck thing happening, and it kind of grosses me out a little bit.
I really want to see it. Chucky gave me the digital copies because he never downloads them because he keeps the discs. He gave me that. He gave me Baby Driver today, and he also gave me Dune 2, and I know it's on Max. But yeah, it's fun, so now I got both parts of Dune. But a few weeks ago, he gave me the Iron Claw.
Yeah, but he's got that neck thing. He had to have juiced up for that thing.
Probably.
Right? Because that's not a normal thing. He doesn't look like that. His body looks a lot slimmer. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why he would do that.
I don't know.
Oh, and Wayne is yelling at me because I apparently ignored his how about the Adventures of Superman season 2? I haven't watched it.
I DVR'd them, and I am excited to start it up again. But I just didn't have time this weekend. But I am excited that it's back.
Yeah.
Excellent cartoon.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it at all.
Oh, it's good.
I'm trying
really,
to catch up on stuff.
I absolutely, because it is. They kind of go their own way, but that's okay. So it's not as typical.
I don't mind that as long as the
stories are
good. Yeah,
stories are great.
Yeah.
But I did watch the first 4 or 5 episodes of the Empire, Tales of the Empire.
Tales of the Empire.
I think is great. Yeah.
That's the baseball Star Wars thing.
Yeah. I love it. I love that stuff. I gotta start watching shows, but I get my day just gets filled up with stuff, and then when I'm writing, I can't watch stuff because I gotta get going on stuff. And
right. No,
Wayne's right. I think MJF's role was cut. I heard that he was in Iron Claw, and then they cut out his whole role. MJF.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. Is that the Von Erich family?
Yeah. Yeah, the Von Erichs. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that's why I like Dark Side of the Ring. I think a lot of wrestling stories are very interesting, very compelling. It's sad. It's a tough business. Bobby Heenan used to tell me real sad stories about guys he knew and stuff, and how things didn't end well. And that's why this was the 90s when WCW happened. And he was just like, oh, man, Turner, thank God. He's like, we were like the backbone of TBS and his superstations. Mm-hmm. And he's never forgotten that. And that's why he's treating us so well.
It was great. Do you have the Peacock, Johnny? Peacock?
I don't currently have the Peacock.
When you get the Peacock, I don't know if they still have it on there, but they have I know they have the WWE channel or thing on there.
Yes.
But they used to, they when they had the WWE channel, they had the Monday Night Wars series.
Yeah, that's on there.
And I don't know if it's on Peacock currently, but that's great.
I think it's on there.
Because aren't they jumping to Netflix and CW?
No, but they're still going to have the pay-per-views or the premium events, as they call them, on Peacock.
Okay.
But they have a documentary series about the Monday Night Wars, and it's excellent. It really kind of.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it delineates all that stuff on there. Yeah, AEW is not firing on all cylinders right now, but man, WWE is.
Okay.
And their stuff right now is really good up until now. It still seems to be going, but that whole Bloodline story, and now they just changed the Bloodline story with Cody and everything like that. Oh, and speaking of Cody Rhodes, I heard right before we came on that he's been cast in the new Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's going to have a full role or if he's just going to be kind of like a,
maybe he'll be the new
cameo
Nordberg.
or something like that.
I do think Liam Neeson does good when he does comedy. I hope this movie's funny.
Maybe he'll be the new Nordberg.
Cody Rhodes might be Nordberg.
Don't kill his family, though.
I bet Terry Crews is going to end up being the new Nordberg because it seems like Terry Crews is always like big muscle guy that can be funny.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love that show.
Very funny show.
Love that show.
Poor Andre Braugher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bum me out.
Good stuff. That is a good show.
No, top to bottom, great cast. Fantastic cast.
There was some good shows on, like the Parks and Rec, Superstore. I like Superstore. Have you ever seen Superstore?
No.
Not that many, but I did see it.
Superstore is funny. If you watch it from beginning to end, it's pretty funny.
I'm mad because I don't have Peacock, and I really wanted to watch the Ted series, and Chucky has the Peacock with commercials, and we could only watch the first episode. They wouldn't let us watch the rest of the episodes.
Okay.
You need Peacock Premium.
Yeah,
but I'll get the cock back when Galactica, the new Galactica.
Galactica, yeah,
because I love that show. Even Lorne Green ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I
was going to say also regarding old TV, 2 weeks ago on Turner on a Friday during the day, they ran all these great 60s spy movies, including for the international audience, they would put 2 episodes of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. together and release it as a movie. Kind of like how, as Mark Miller told me years ago, and he says it on the Marvel's Icons show, that when he saw Nicholas Hammond's 70s Spider-Man, it was a movie released in Scotland of a couple episodes put together.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like they didn't get the actual weekly TV show.
Yeah.
We used to rent the movie, like the first few episodes. It was
Sure.
VHS of it at the video store.
Sure.
It sucked, but we liked it because it was the only thing with Spider-Man.
Have you watched that Icons Marvel documentary series?
No.
It's made by my buddy Brian Volk-Weiss of the Nacelle Network, and he did that Center Seat Star Trek documentary series, Franco, if you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the one about he also did one about Star Wars behind the scenes. But the Marvel one's really interesting, and I really want to talk to Bendis because they did an episode about the first Avengers movie, and apparently even before a couple years later, Feige got rid of the Marvel movie panel of all the comic book people kind of vetting the material. Apparently, Joss Whedon was complaining about it when he was making the Avengers movie. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially given that he was writing comics for Marvel just a couple years earlier, writing X-Men and stuff like that. But it was very interesting.
And Bendis was on that panel, wasn't he?
Bendis, Alan Fine, the then publisher, Buckley was on the panel, and Quesada.
Right.
Dan Buckley, Quesada, Bendis, and Alan Fine. Yeah. So, I don't know what to tell you, but I was surprised to hear animosity that early. Because I know Feige, after Kimmer was Ant-Man or whatever, but at that point, he's like, all right, with those movies, I've literally made you. He was talking to Alan Horn, who was in charge of Disney. And he's like, my movies have made you $7 billion. I don't want to report to these guys anymore. And Alan Horn's like, done.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So, well, and it was instigated by Perlman, who was still in charge of Marvel. Well, not Perlman.
Right, because he was sticking his finger in everything, right?
Yeah, but also the cheapskate that ran Marvel. It wasn't Perlman. It was the other guy. And he was the guy that, like, literally was, like, going through the New York Marvel offices and are like, nobody's in this room and the lights are on. What are you doing? And also, like, you could use both sides of a piece of paper before you throw it out. Like a real penny pincher. And also said, girls don't want to see superhero movies.
Of course not. That's awful. Like, he made people draw on both sides of the paper. Could you imagine that, Scoot?
Not draw.
Drawn on both sides of the paper?
Like memos and stuff. Yeah. Penny pincher.
Penny pincher. All I know is that movie Dune, there was a lot of sand in that movie. That's all I know.
Ironically.
A lot of sand and people looking at sand.
More sand in that movie than Beach Blanket Bingo?
Yes.
And Spring Break
Pearl
Lawyer.
Butter.
It was. I guess it was Pro Butter. Thanks, Mario. I don't know why. I said Pro Men.
Yeah.
And yes, it was like Pro Butter. Thank you. What's that map score, Mario?
I don't think they're playing tonight.
I don't think so.
Wayne is predicting that there's going to be a civil war with the Bloodline with Roman comes back for filming his movie. That's right. What movie is he filming? Is that why he's out? Because he's filming a movie right now? I didn't know that. What movie is he filming? I know it was very jarring when Roman came back with new teeth.
Ew.
And
what happened to his teeth?
Nothing. He got them capped, and when he came back, it looked jarring. It was jarring.
Much like
yeah,
Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a show about teeth.
And Costas Mandylor. We should get all three of those guys in a movie.
Speaking of teeth, Bill Walton died today. Look at his teeth.
For real?
Yeah.
Who? Bill Walton.
Wow.
The basketball player.
Yeah,
legendary
player. Well, I won't speak ill of the dead, but I only had bad experiences with Mr. Walton. I'm very sorry that he passed away.
Was it because of his teeth?
Had nothing to do with his teeth. He was very, yeah. I mean, I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, and I certainly didn't want to wish him to go away because he was a good basketball analyst, just not the friendliest guy. That's all, and that's fine. Whatever,
Mario says the Mavericks are up 3-0 in the series. If they win tomorrow, it's on to the finals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. I know the Knicks were in there for a while, but then they got
But
beat.
then they weren't.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love when
you said that like I would care. I don't care about that.
No, I realize. No,
I don't
that's
care about
really
any sports.
That's just more for New Yorkers. Which, by the way, God bless the New Yorkers. I loved when
watch it, Johnny.
Again, sorry, politics.
Watch it.
In front of when they were in front of when all the congressmen were in front of the courthouse and supporting Trump, and they all walked away. And Boebert came back to say something more. I just want to say one more thing. And they all shouted her down, screaming Beetlejuice at her, which is fantastic. That and also
now that's New York for you, right there.
Yes, and that's like too. When Marjorie Taylor Greene was in New York at the beginning, like maybe at their arraignment, whatever, but she made a big deal. And there was just one guy screaming, "Hey, Marjorie, where are the space lasers? How come you're not getting bombarded by the space lasers?" It was fantastic. I'm like, New York, ladies and gentlemen.
See, that's my hometown right there, buddy. Right there. Wayne says that Roman is off filming Good Fortune, which I have no idea what is.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is, but I like it. I don't know what it is, but I like it.
But I like it. I like it a lot. I'm traveling the world right now with Leilani. We're going to a bunch of exotic ports, and we're seeing exotic things. I love him. We never really talked about C2E2. All I did was the Svengoolie panel, and I had a great time.
That Svengoolie guy is awesome.
You don't have to convince me, man.
I didn't see him there, and then I wrote on the Facebooks, on the social medias, that I'm sorry I missed him. And he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry I missed you too. We'll catch up next time." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so awesome." And he wished me a happy anniversary.
Very nice.
Isn't that cool?
Because we talked about the Svengoolie anthology that you guys participated in, and I know there's a second volume in the works, but I also know you guys aren't going to be involved in it, unfortunately. But no, he was very appreciative on the panel. He's like, "Oh no, the guys did a great job. It was really great."
That's awesome. Yeah.
No, he's the man. I was on a Svengoolie fan podcast Saturday before the show on Saturday night, and Saturday night it was Destroy All Monsters, the Godzilla crossover with everybody.
Yeah. Scoot, how was C2E2 for you before you fall asleep? We'll get
it was great. Yeah, it was fun hanging out with everyone. I didn't do any panels or anything this year, so I actually was able to see people when they came to my table, because there's so many times when you leave to do these things and people are always like, oh, I stopped by to see you. I missed you. So it was nice to be at the table, to see everyone. I shared a room with Dave Scheid. No stories, no funny stories, unfortunately, except for the night Johnny came to visit us in our room, and he sat right in front of the TV. So that was.
Did I block? I didn't block the TV. Shut up.
I have to back up Scoot on this one because there's photographic evidence he sent me of you sitting in front of the TV.
I was off to the side. That's not true.
And then
I felt bad because we were watching Saturday Night Live, and I could see Scoot's eyes closing. I'm like, all right, I'm leaving. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just okay. Now on the pod now. His eyes are closing now. Here, too.
I know. Get sleepy. Yeah. I still get up at 6 a.m., Franco. You don't have to anymore.
It's true.
I'm still getting up at 6 a.m. I don't have to, but I'm still getting up at 6 a.m.
Yeah. It's different when you get up at 6 a.m. because you wake up, or when your alarm goes off and you're like, oh, I got to go in tomorrow.
I get up, I do a little work, and then I go back to sleep by around 8 or 9. And then I'm a bum and I don't wake up till 11.
You're like on Art hours. You and Art are texting us
vampires.
I know. I know. Like I got to shut my phone off because sometimes there's 35 texts in a row at 3 a.m. I'm like,
yes, I saw those last night.
What
at 2 a.m. Johnny was texting about Jessica.
If I forget to take my phone, because I turn it off, the sound off every night, but it's by my bed, in case there's an emergency or something. Fucking thing buzzes. Bzz, bzz. I'm like, what the hell, man?
I know it's mostly Artie, but I had to share about puppet tits. I'm sorry.
Chris Connolly is listening here, and he's like, Franco, it's E2E2. I bought a tiny Ant-Man from you. Is it Scott or Hank, or do I get to decide? Yeah, man, go crazy. It's all you. You get to decide. But I don't have any stories. I had stories about C2E2, but then we didn't pod about it for a month and a half. So
I know. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because we did talk. We were like, "Oh, we'll save that for the pod," and then we didn't write it down, so we just kind of forgot about it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember anything.
Yeah. Svengoolie was my only celebrity sighting. That's because he was sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
So you couldn't miss him.
We ate pizza the first night. We all ate at that pizza place. Johnny met us there.
Yes, Paisanos. Yes, good place.
And we had to expand the table because, we already sat down, and then Johnny texted. He goes, "I'm on my way," and I'm like, "Oh man, I didn't know he was coming."
Exactly. So, I thought you guys had already met Nate because it was pretty late in the afternoon.
No,
and I'm like, all right. I mean, I figured, but again,
we have to set up, Johnny.
I understand that. I realize that now.
You people that come to the show with only no suitcase and nothing to set up at a table. Psh.
What do you mean, you people?
You people that don't come to set up at the show. That's
I was doing a whatchamacall reference, Tropic Thunder.
I know what you were doing. I know. Wow. I know what you were doing.
All right, thanks for playing. And follow us when you see us.
Are we done? We can be done. We can be done.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, we got to get back in the groove of this thing. So let's do this again tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll be back on tomorrow night.
I'll be around.
But no, we gotta get back in the groove. We gotta get the. Sure. We're gonna get a new opening. I wrote it down. I'll talk to Johnny about how to get the.
I've been running those fake videos because I got that Parrot app, and I love it. And my buddy Gary.
Yeah, I know you do.
Well, I know because I send them out to you guys. But my buddy Gary pointed out I should cross edit and do a conversation between some of the celebrities that are on there, and that would be funny. So I'm gonna think about that and try and come up with a couple good conversations and stuff. But they've got a good Schwarzenegger video, but the voice to me, it's too clean. I think because it's the AI, it's almost like his accent's barely there. Come on. I mean, I'd rather put my voice in there. Get in the chopper.
That's no fun.
Why don't you do that? Yeah.
I will. I can. Yeah. Michael Jackson's on there.
Oh boy.
But some of them are just photos, but the audio is amazing, and some are full video. Like I got Morgan Freeman, which was fantastic. I said he wanted to come back. He was petitioning James Gunn to allow him to play a senior citizen Black Vulcan from the Super Friends. Hello, I'm Black Vulcan. I was the narrator of March of the Penguins.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
No, I don't know. Anyway, follow us when you see us. I think I'm live on Instagram, but I don't know how to end it. So
You send the whole thing.
yeah, who knows? No, I think it keeps playing. I think it keeps playing on Instagram. Afterwards, you got to end it there. So if you see something nasty after we go off the air, you know why. But anyway, yes, ending the show. Three Rivers Con this weekend. Come out and see me if you're out in the Pittsburgh area. Also on Zoop, go look for the Ghostlight Tales. It's the pre-launch page. We're not going live till next month sometime. So keep an eye out for that. Follow Scoot when you see him. We got some stuff happening we're working on. Scoot is involved with the Ghostlight Tales, but we also got some Ninja Kaiju stuff coming up, which is good, clean fun. And Johnny's on every day of the week over on his channel.
Pretty much.
Go check him out. And we'll be back.